home comes before someone else's privilege to earn a profit. All this hullabaloo, right? We won this election, and there's all this attention and all these crazy people, right? So I have to get a second place in DC, right? Because I work in DC and then I work here in New York. So I have to get an apartment in DC. I'm on Fox News all the time, all this other stuff. So now I gotta get a building when I'm in DC, because there's so many loquitos out there that have with a doorman, right? So now, moving on up, right? So I get into this building, I move into this building, and it's marketed as a luxury building in DC. Pass the other way. Oh, sorry. So I move into a building and it's marketed as a luxury building in DC, right? I'm keeping it 100% with you all. And so I move into this luxury building in DC. And what does it have? It's an efficient building. It's clean. It has public space. It has a rooftop garden. Y'all watching my Instagram. It has all of these things, right? It has clean air. It has clean water. And I think about this and I'm like, this is what a luxury building is like, right? I just toured an affordable housing unit yesterday in Queens. And this was one of the first developments of its kind in the borough of Queens in almost 30 years. 67 units of affordable senior housing. 20 to 30% of those units were reserved for seniors who were formerly homeless. It's a phenomenal building. It was built using passive house methods and technology. So it's 90% more carbon efficient and 90% cleaner than any other building in New York City. And it's affordable housing run by a non-for-profit. So I go in and I do a tour with one of these seniors, right? And she opens the door and I look and I open it and it looks just like my apartment. It looks just like my luxury apartment, right? So what that shows me and that what that tells us is that what we have been taught that is a luxury should not be a luxury. It should not be a luxury. We can live in buildings. We do not have to be price gouged to live in a building with cockroaches and dirty air and that endanger our kids with lead in the paint. Another world is possible. We can live in places and we can live with either responsible landlords or we can live in buildings that are non-for-profit or tenant-owned. There are so many ways that we can slice this, and we can structure it in a way where all people have a right to a dignified home, and it's not science fiction, and it's not just for the rich. Because what we have been taught and what we have been conditioned is that basic rights are a luxury and a privilege when they are not. They are not.
Yeah.
So